Alright, as you can see, I am here with the inimitable Fusion LR. Well, hold up, that's Gogeta. There go Vegeta. Here we go. LR Gogeta, LR Vegito. And then we got this Vegito and this Gogeta just on here as fodder. You know, they're just there to look good. They ain't doing much. They ain't doing much. What's going on, JP? How many stones we getting? 4? Only 4? Come on. I heard rumors on JP that you get thousands of stone every login. So let's see. I actually did the super cool, super hard Dragon Ball Super stage yesterday. And I did not do the Goku or Vegeta stage yet, so I'm thinking I might as well do the Goku stage. And it is new, at least new to me, technically, because I never did it before. Let me see, Mr. Gogeta right here. Damn, 14 critical. This man ain't playing. Holy shit. Fuck it. I'll take you, brother. I'll take you, bro. I got you, bro. And for items, I don't know if I'm going to need them necessarily, but maybe I'll take like Princess Snake just in case, Android 8 just in case, and see where it goes from there. But yeah, I usually do take in LR Gogeta's friend because he has prepared for battle and Vegito does not have prepared for battle, which isn't the end of the world, but it really does hurt the third year LRs. So these LRs, as you can see, they're A-OK now because they have prepared for battle. But you will see that later on, once this Gogeta transforms, and he does transform, he becomes, the SSB Gogeta, who only has over in the Flash. It hurts him a little bit, although once they transform, it doesn't really matter because the Phi Gogeta is going to get over in a flash. The Int Vegito is going to get, I think, I don't know what the fuck he gets that gives him 2 key. And then, basically, they get a shit ton more orbs from the Rainbow key. So it's not really that bad. I definitely say that for events that aren't like this, like that aren't that hard, and you could bring like one Mong support, I'll probably end up bringing Ghost Gotenks just because he does change the field to Rainbow, and that's definitely something that these guys need. As you can see, the STR Gogeta and the AGL Vegito, in all honesty, he doesn't really need to super. It'd be nice if he did, but he's just there mostly for tanking capabilities. I know for the Gogeta, he doesn't need any key. He's usually either 2 away from a super or 1 away if it's over in the flash on the field. But, yeah, these units are really cool. Ooh, nice critical, brother. Whoa! Very nice. Yeah, this Gogeta, I definitely think that this year's anniversary LRs are a lot harder to decide who you want. Usually throughout the years it's been very one-sided. Like, you usually knew what people were like gonna gravitate towards. So first year everyone went STR Gogeta. They're like, fuck Janemba, no one cares about you, eat ass. And then the second year is when STR Goku and Super Saiyan 4 AGL Vegeta came out. And a lot of people shafted Vegeta in favor of the Goku because Goku did have more attack damage. He was stronger. And at that point in time, defense was not that important. So a lot of people gravitated towards the SDR Goku. And then for the third year, it was like a blowout. Like, I don't know anyone who disagrees that LR Int Vegito is better than LR Phi Gogeta. Phi Gogeta is really good. But just the fact that Int Vegito has counters makes him way stronger, way tankier for normals. And his damage output is way better. And then this year, well, actually, the fourth year, again, it was another blowout. I'd say more people wanted Super Saiyan 4 Goku as opposed to Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Just because the Goku on turn 1, his attack stat is all the way up, and he builds defense from then on out. Whereas Vegeta, defense all the way out, and then builds attack. So I think that more people would want Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And me personally, I'm very happy with my Vegeta. But I definitely, it was kind of a hard decision between Goku and Vegeta. What ended up making me pick Vegeta is that I just wanted the team. Like, it was less to do with the unit and more to do with the team just because it was different. But this year, I would say between LR Vegito and LR Gogeta, I would still, if I had to pick and choose and I was forced to take one, I would maybe pick this Vegito because I feel like the fact that he gets an extra super attack is really valuable in my opinion. And I feel like when they're base form, he has way more utility because like I do have a dupe in him, but even if I didn't have a dupe in him, the fact that he gets 2 super attacks every single time, and the fact that he does build defense at least in this turn from super attack, is really really valuable. But I think that once they both become rainbowed, I think the gap does close a little bit because this Gogeta is very similar to the 5 Final Form Cooler, where he is guaranteed a second attack. It may not be a super attack, it may not be a super attack necessarily, but it is an attack that is guaranteed to occur. Thus, then he becomes way more valuable in the dupe system because now you basically have a card that can always get some type of attack, so the chances of him getting an additional super go up uh, in the dupe system hierarchy. So I think both cards are really good. I think they're really cool, and I definitely think that it has been. I'm really happy I have a JP account. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the most hyped anniversary for me personally. Part of it being that I can actually use these cards, and it's actually it's long enough where I actually have an account built up to the point where I'm not drained grinding awakening medals, and I'm not drained doing different things. So happy for me, bro. Happy for me. Joyous day, joyous day. I am happy all the way. Um, Jesus, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, that's one thing I did notice is that these units, their defensive stats early on are very. They're not bad, but they're not good. They don't really have the 100k plus defense on turn one. They have like at most 80. If you get them in the dupe system, maybe it'll go higher. Right now, Tech Vegito's defense is at 80 base, and then Int Vegito is at 140. Now, this Vegito, his defense will probably eclipse this Vegito, and also I have 2 dupes in him, so it's not like a super fair comparison. But it's just the fact that this Vegito and this Gogeta, they take a long time to build up the passive. They take, I think it's either 10 or 11 turns it takes in order to get their full passive and get their full attack and defense buffs. So they definitely become much better much later, which I have mixed feelings about. I like it to a degree. I do like the whole mechanic of building it up, getting stronger. But I also kind of wish they made it a little bit more of like an initial thing. Like, I would have liked it personally if they started off like, let's just say they get 7% every turn. Let's just say you get, I don't know, attack and defense 42%, right? So that's 6 of the 7. And then for the next 4 turns they become better, or do it backwards. Do it backwards where attack and defense plus, what was it, 28%. And then the next 6 turns they build 7 to their like final, final form. Because I definitely feel like they, like, me personally, I know whenever I have them on the field, I'm very weary. Like, I know that they're not like the LR in Vegito and LR5 Gogeta, where it's like they have a lot of defense early on. It definitely feels like, at least to me, that they don't have as much defensive prowess. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to leave the 5 Vegito on rotation for defense purposes, right? And then I'll leave the Gogeta at the end for the extra damage, because that is one thing I do like. Ideally, you don't want to move him off rotation, but sometimes it's nice to just have him at the end just to get that extra attack out and also the 50% chance to dodge. I don't know how hard this event is. So far, it's been... I mean, they hit pretty hard, honestly. I ain't gonna lie to you. I took 200k damage, so I'm a little shooketh right now, so I don't know what's coming, so I'd rather maybe just put him at the end for defensive purposes just to see. And then when he goes on the other turn with Vegito, I'll probably just keep him there. And then I'll try to keep Vegito, Gogeta together, and then maybe keep Vegito and this Gogeta together in the same turn, one or the other, depending on what it looks like. But yeah, I really do like these units. I think they're really cool. I think that, again, Dokkan did a good job on the anniversary. Super hype. I don't think anyone is complaining about it. Let's see. I really don't want to get a super attack to the face, honestly. Let's do that. And then let's do that. And then hopefully we don't get a Dokkan. Shit, we got the Dokkan. Fuck. That's the wrong person to get the Dokkan, brother. Or if he gets a crit, it might not be that bad. Let's see. Let's see. But, yeah, I'll be honest with you, bro. I regret not taking off work this week because I was hyped to play this game. I had the energy. I had it flowing through me. I got energy. Got a lot of energy. And I was ready to play it. But it's just been a busy week, and I'm a busy guy. So even at work, like, I feel like during the week, like at work, during the lunch break, sometimes I'm busy and I don't really take a lunch break. And I commute to work back and forth anyway. So by the time I get home, by the time I eat dinner, it's fucking 3 or 4 hours till I gotta go to sleep. That's one thing, I'll be honest with you. Like, one of the hardest things with getting a full real time job is the fact that it never ends. You have like off every once in a while, which is decent, but it's continuous and you lose so much time. And I know obviously this is nothing new. This is Goten's. I was like, how come the field changed? I'm like, I want some of that. So let's see, we'll do that. And then that looks good for him, but you know what? I'll go ahead and take the shittier super with SSB Gogeta just to give the better super to Phi Gogeta. I think it'll make a difference in then. But yeah, dude, once you start working a job, like, you have so little time. Like, you come home, you eat dinner, you relax for like an hour or two, and you look at the clock and you're like, Jesus Christ. And I get home pretty late because I leave, like, in all fairness, I get at my job like 8:45, which is, later than most places, but at the same time I commute, so I'm not really like saving anything in terms of time. And then for when I come home, on average, I'll get there like 8:45. I'll leave like either 6 o'clock, 20 after 6. I'm telling you, like, I rarely eat lunch for an hour. It's very rare that I do that. So it's not like I'm fucking leaving early in any regard. And then once I come home, it's, like an hour commute. So by the time I come home, it's like, 7:15-ish. I mean, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's less. Shit, let's see. Ooh, you know what I'm about to do? You already know what I'm about to do. I'm going to do the active skill exploit. I'm going to use it with Gogeta. Why not? I'm going to go ahead, let this man super duper active skill in the third slot right here. This might kill, I don't know. Let's see. Beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. Okay. Oh, I guess his active skill isn't super effective, or maybe his defense is that fucking cray-cray. So we'll do that. So now that Gogeta should have a 50% chance to dodge. And then I will go ahead and I will do that, and I'll do that. So now that Gogeta has a 50% chance to dodge, and he's guaranteed to get the second super when usually he's not supposed to. So let's see. Beautiful. Amazing. Yup. There we go, boys. Critical. Let me get that second super. Beautiful. I really hope they don't patch that, bro. That's a really nice exploit. I like that a lot. Oh, that is so sexy. Holy shit. But yeah, bro, that 9 to 5 grind, man, I mean, you get tired of it. You get tired of it real quick. It ain't nothing luxurious. It ain't nothing amazing. It ain't nothing fun. It is a grind. And honestly, I like my job. I don't think it's a bad job. It's just when you have things you want to do at home, when you have like certain things you want to experience, when you have different things you want to do, and you see that you have so little time, I think maybe I just need to manage my time better, because, I think good time management is like really great, because like, for me, the thing that kills me is if I have a bunch of shit I have to do and I want to do something fun at home, or if I take off of work, which I rarely take off work unless there's like something to do with my family or something to do in terms of like just have to take time off for Christmas, shit like that. But when I take off from work, I definitely need like a new game or like be into something so that way that time off isn't like boring. Like there's nothing worse than taking a week off or taking a couple days off and then being like playing a game and it's shitty and you're like, what the fuck do I do now? Or you get to a point where for some reason or another you, let's see, I guess I'll do that. That looks nice actually. Let's do that. And then we'll do that. Damn, that is a killer turn. Um, or when like this week a new game came out essentially for me. New LRs came out, so it's a new game to me. And I actually wanted to experience this. I wanted to love it. I wanted to really just wrap myself around it. And ended up being that I didn't have any time to do it. So it's one of those things that I guess it's just one of those things you need to manage your time better. But I can't complain. I'm actually happy that some came out because January is like super dry usually. Let's see. Huh. I wonder if it's worth it to put him in the third slot. Probably not. I was thinking to put him in the third slot and then I could get the active skills next turn. But that probably ain't going to happen, right? Probably not going to do enough damage to get him to 50% HP. Um, but yeah, I guess it's just one of those woes of growing up. You need to go to work. You need to be responsible. You need to be not a dickhead. So it is what it is. And a lot of my friends have been really busy recently. One of them moved out of state, and I have two friends out of state. One of them has like a weird work schedule. One of them has another weird work schedule. And then two other friends, I'll be honest, I don't know if today, my parents are probably going to drain me. But if not tomorrow, maybe next week, I'll try to reach out. If my friends are out of state, I'll probably try to reach out to my other friends. But for me, the reason why I say to be honest is like the way I operate as an individual when it comes to like friendships is a lot of times I'll be friends with multiple people, but I'll be like point of contact for like two of them out of the six. So for example, there's a couple friends that I have, and usually they'll reach out to me, or if enough time goes by, which usually doesn't, we usually see each other like every other week or week. I'll reach out to them and be like, hey, do you want to hang out? Hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? But it's usually like one or two friends, and then the other friends we just meet up, and it just ends up happening where we make plans. And I've always done this, even when I was younger. Like I'll have like one friend as an anchor friend, and I'll be like, hey, want to hang out? We'll get the other guys, but I'll ask them. You know what I mean? Like I don't go around asking different people. I don't know if that's something I need to get better at necessarily. It's just something that I kind of got used to in terms of like just how I operate and how I hang out with my other friends. It kind of feels like um, I just kind of reach out to people after a long enough time if they don't want to hang out or if they're busy or whatever, in order to see if they're trying to, relax, hang out, have a good time. But for me personally, I think I'll do the Vegito one too. Might as well knock it out. Why not? But for me personally, I always. Damn, this guy went 14 crit, 3 dodge. That is a really weird setup, but I'll take it, brother. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, for me, it's always been kind of like that's just how I've always had my friendships. And also I do talk to these guys a lot. Like we talk to each other, whether it's playing games or if it's just just talking to each other from a day to day basis. So it's not like I don't talk to these guys ever and I don't see them ever. It's more so just the fact that you don't always have the same schedule and sometimes things collide and you can't hang out and it's kind of hard to schedule around people's lives and figure out when the best time is to talk to them. By the way, this is a prime example of LR Vegito fucking the rotation. So as you can see here, he only has Over in a Flash. He does not have Prepare for Battle. So in Vegito, no super, my friend. No super. Sorry. This is going to do, hopefully less than 120. Please less than 120. Don't be a badass. What a badass. Um, but, yeah, it's just one of those things I guess I need to get better at in terms of, like, communication and seeing my friends. And a lot of times, like, I'll be honest, like, a lot of times my friends ask me, hey, do you want to hang out? Hey, do you want to do this? So, and it's just, like, it's usually, like, in a group chat or we'll be talking or we'll hang out. And a lot of them are busy, and the ones that I usually, like I said, sometimes I'll have a friend that I hang out with that is is basically like out of my group of friends. there's like two or three that I usually two that I'll reach out to and say directly, hey, do you want to hang out? Whereas with the other friends, it's usually like it happens. Like the plans are made, we talk to each other, and it just ends up happening. So I guess for me, I just need to become a better plan organizer because usually I leave that up to my friends. Every once in a while in the past, I've invited people to my house, or I've said, hey, you want to do this? Do you want to go there? And I've done it, and I've taken the initiative. But I usually don't do that just because I guess I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like your friends are usually just hang out. It just happens organically where you don't really have to think about it. It's been like years since I've really had to like reach out and be like, hey, do you want to hang out after not seeing someone for a while? Oh, come on, bro. You really gonna lock me in? Disrespectful. Disrespectful. Alright, I guess Vegito's going on the next rotation. What are you gonna do? What can you do for Klondike more? But yeah, that's just one of those things I think about in terms of getting older. And I understand eventually at some point in time, I mean, none of us are married, none of us have kids. Once that happens, I think that us hanging out every week and every other week is probably going to be an oddity as opposed to a guarantee. And then that's just how life is. Things progress. People move to different states. Things change. For me personally, I mean, it's just weird. I mean, like for me, I've never really envisioned myself getting to the point I am in my life. Meaning, like, I never really. Shit, this is a bad turn, man. Fuck. Shit. So how about this? How about we do that, and then after we do that, we'll go ahead and do that, and then after doing that, I'm gonna use this and pray that I don't get supered at the end. Maybe LR Gogeta can take a hit, but TUR probably gonna die. But yeah, like I was saying, I never really envisioned this point in my life. Like whenever I was younger, I never really had specific goals in order to pick a career. I never really had a specific idea. You know what I mean? You don't really plan out your life. I understand I'm young, but I feel like for me personally, it's just kind of like a meandering of going through the motion and just going to tomorrow and basically moving forward as opposed to stagnating. But it is a bit one of those weird things where you got to kind of like at least be cognizant of the fact that things are changing, friends are changing, people moving away. And even with my own family, like I realize that at some point I'm probably going to buy a house and I'm probably going to have them live with me, which isn't terrible. It's not the worst thing ever. It's just a little bit more responsibility, a little bit of a more headache. And for me, it's always been like, I don't know. I've always felt like in my life, I've always been trying to get to a different point to be happy. I'm a happy individual. I'm not sad, but I feel like there's always been certain things in my life that I thought would make it better. So, for example, right now, one thing that I think would make it better is a couple things that I think would make my life better. One thing is my family relations. I'd be so happy if they just shut the fuck up and stop draining me. That'd be a big bonus, in my opinion. Two is to have a house that I own, and not only own, but something where it's not like I'm living paycheck to paycheck or like barely making it. Comfortably own a house, and then maybe possibly the only thing I can think of that I would even like entertain and say, you know what, if this happened, I'd be happier, is maybe like me commuting to work. Because honestly, me commuting to work, some days it's not bad. It's like 40 minutes. Some days with traffic, it's like 50 minutes to an hour. I think it might be starting to kind of be annoying. I mean, honestly, I don't really care. Like, I drive a lot anyway. But put it this way, if I had the option to drive an hour or drive 30 minutes, I would choose 30 minutes. So for me, maybe it's something that I need to take into consideration with changing my work schedule or changing the way that I live, basically, to be happier. Because a lot of times for me personally, I very rarely do anything that makes me happy. What I mean by that is I don't try to do things that'll make me happier. Like, for example, at my job, there's a couple people who move. They work like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, some closer than me, some farther than me, and they work from home 2 days out of the week. Some three, some remote. Me personally, if I could work from home, um, it might be better for me personally to work from home. Like, let's just say every Wednesday I work from home, or every Tuesday and Wednesday I work from home. It may end up being better. And the reason why I say that is because at my job, a lot of the time I do, like at the beginning of the sprint, it's like it's hard to not be there. Be there for planning, be there for updating stuff, and then during the week, also like we have a new team member that we talk to, and when I'm there, it is better because I do talk. We do have conversations. It's easier to work. But there are a good 2 or 3 days where I feel like, for example, the towards the end of the sprint, I feel like I could just stay home. Like even Fridays at the end of the sprint, I feel like I could just stay home. And when I say stay home, I mean like it's not like we're rushing to do anything. It's not like anything super collaborative is occurring. Like I probably could stay home every other Friday easily. Like if I said, hey, I want to work from home every other Friday, they'd be like, whatever, who gives a shit? No one cares. Like I already, for the past like 2 weeks, I've left like an hour or two earlier on the. You know what? I'm gonna use my actoscope. Might as well. Um, but yeah, for an hour of two, I've left early. And again, I don't really leave early, and the reason why I say that is because I often will come home and continue to work. So it's not like I really am like, done for the day. That's it. So it's kind of like a weird thing for me. Like I'm very reluctant to do anything that makes myself happier to a certain degree. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like just strict standards that I impose on myself. Not to sound like I'm the most professional person ever, but I do put a certain worth and work effort into what I do. And shit, I might not. Will I die at the end if he silvers? I might. I don't know. I honestly don't know how strong this guy is. I might as well just fucking use an item. Um, but I don't know. I'm very like reluctant to basically look forward and try to basically scheme my way into working easier. Because honestly, me personally, when I go to work, it ain't like the worst thing ever. Like for me, the biggest thing is like when I want to, like for example, this week, a new shit drops, new game come out, something you're interested in. It's like when you were in school, when a new video game came out. I remember when like the OG Naruto Ultimate Ninja came out for the PlayStation. I was like, holy shit! Like I wanted to stay home, not go to school, and play that game, and that's what I actually did on release day. I just stayed home sick and played the game, and I think I just need to get better at like, first of all, time management, as well as like if a new game is coming out or if something's coming out and I want to take off, just fuck it, take it off. Who gives a shit? Like at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna be missed that much where it's like, oh my god, where is this guy? We're dying. Um, and I also think that it would make me happier to have work off and not, basically have to feel like I'm missing out on anything. So let's see here. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not like I'm unhappy. I'm miserable just because 2 or 3 days I wanted to play a game and I wasn't home. It's just one of those things that as you get older, you can't. I could technically, let's just say technically, and I actually was sick this week one day. I stayed home and I worked from home, and I actually did work from home. I didn't like quote unquote work from home where it was just kind of like a lax day. I actually did work. But I could have, like, for example, it's like, oh, wow, I want to play this game. Let me take a sick day. I'm sick today. I can't come in. Or, oh, I want to play this game. Hey, I have to do this, I have to do that. And again, it's not like anything we're doing is, like, mission critical. Where, like, okay, if I took a sick day or half day, whatever, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But I just feel like sometimes I don't like doing shit half-ass. I don't like being unprofessional. And I don't know. It sometimes it's to the point where, like, it makes myself like it doesn't. I don't want to say it makes me miserable, but it definitely is more rigor that I put on myself than other people put on themselves. And even at my company, like when I first started, like a lot of things that my coworkers would say is like, "Yo, you don't have to work so hard. Take it easy. Leave early. You're new. Whatever." But I just feel like I like to earn my paycheck, and like when I earn those things, it feels way better than like going through the motion. Like, I don't know, like, if you ever seen Office Space, you know how, like, there's, like, a scene in the movie where they're like, what exactly is it that you do here? And then the guy's, like, has to think about it and be like, what the fuck do I do? Like, it's something you gotta, like, theorize and figure out and shit. Let's see, let's do that. For me, personally, like, I'm, like, super secure in my job. Just because of the fact that I do so much, I learn so much, and I bring a lot of shit to the table. And I feel like that's a good thing at the end of the day because at least I feel like I'm doing something good at my job and I'm not fucking around and just. And that's one thing. Like at my job, like I don't hold this against people, but at my job, it's like a super corporate, techie job where like, they have like I don't know one computer science job that I applied for that didn't say that they have a fucking Nintendo Wii or they have a fucking video game system or they have like some childish shit to like preoccupy you. And that's one thing that my job has. They have like ping pong, a foosball table, like a bunch of shit you could do. They have a Nintendo Switch. They play Super Smash every once in a while. Well, actually, almost every fucking day. But for me, it's like I don't want to do that. Like when I go to work, I just want to go to work and then go home. Like I have no interest in staying at my job 1 minute longer. Like even the people I like I'll have a conversation with them and it'll be like, all right, bet you're a cool guy, but I'd rather do this at home. I guess maybe it might just be a commuter mentality because even when I went to college, I commuted to college. So whenever I was on campus, I wanted to get home immediately because I wanted to skip traffic, didn't want to fuck around. Whereas people who dormed there were just like, fuck it, like, I could just walk home, like, I don't need to be in a rush. Like, I remember a lot of times on college, people were like, yo, dude, we're playing soccer, come play with us, we're doing this, come do that. And I'm like, bro, what are you, shot? I am not taking any more time on this campus unless I have to. I gotta go. So it might just be a mind thing. I don't really know for sure. But for me, personally, I do feel like I'm a happy individual. I'm happy with my job. I'm happy with what I do. I'm happy with the relationships I have. But at the same time, I do also have a very, I think they call it low self-esteem, where you're like, shit, bro, I don't, like, even at my job, like, I feel like I don't know if, like, me staying at my job is the right decision because a lot of people, even people in my job, have been like, yo, dude, you could get a more paying job somewhere else. You could do this somewhere else. You could do this at a bigger name company. And it's like, yeah, I guess that's true. But at the same time, like, I like my job. I like what I do at my job. I feel like my job has been fair to me to the point where, like, I don't want to leave unless I have to leave or if I feel like they're underpaying me or I feel like they're being dicks to me or I feel like they're doing something that warrants me leaving. But it doesn't feel like that. So I don't want to, and again, I don't want to just leave and be like, all right, I want to get more money somewhere else, so I'm just going to leave. Because then a couple of reasons. One is that why? Like, what's the point in doing that? And also, like, I feel like the experience I get at my job is, like, amazing. Like, I get a lot of experience doing what I do, and I wear a lot of different hats, and at, like, a larger company like Microsoft, it's probably going to be a lot more well-defined. It's probably going to be a lot more to the point, and I doubt that they're going to let you do, for example, like, something at my job that I do that I liked, that's actually pretty cool, was the infrastructure stuff, was standing up the stuff in AWS, learning some cloud formation, learning how to do different things. So for me, working at a larger company, I don't think I would have done that, nor would I have been allowed to do that. And if I did, then they'd be like, all right, go work in that fucking department. Like, they wouldn't let you, I would assume would not let you, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that. Same thing with the performance tests that I do. Same thing with, just different functionalities that I do that I think are interesting and nice and kind of like a good experience boost. I don't know how common that would occur in a different company. And granted, at a different company, it may not be, it may be the fact that once you go there and you know so much, it literally doesn't matter because you're so well experienced. That's like whatever, at this point, you know everything, you're just doing what you're doing. And I've seen that at my company where there's people who are like, 50 some odd years old and they're, just doing what they want to do and they're just setting their track and they already did all that stuff. And for me, I'm new at my company and new to the workforce. So for me, well, I'm not really new at my company. I've been there almost 3 years now. So for me, I feel like it's a really good experience. the pay is pretty good. I'll see with this end of the year review. Supposedly, it's supposed to be like a larger than usual raise. In the last year, I got 2 raises that were over 15%, which is significant. And this year, there's been no raise just because I guess that's the way it's been set up. But I definitely am interested to see what exactly is going to end up happening, what exactly is going to be unfolding. Because I know me personally, if I feel like I'm getting underpaid, like for example, if they gave me a 10% raise, I think anything less than 50%, I'm leaving this company. It is what it is because at this point, it's been a year without pay raise at all whatsoever. And I feel like I've done so much for the company that if I didn't leave, I'm basically accepting lower pay, and I am underpaid. I don't think I'm underpaid right now, but if I get a less than 50% raise, and by the way, 15% I think would be bare minimum. Me personally, the way I've been putting in work, the way I've been putting numbers on the board. Yeah, I feel like 25%. 25%. That's how much I did this year. I have super low self esteem. I just went on a fucking entire monologue about how I'm such a low self esteem sicko and that I feel like I'm not good enough and I feel like I'm a fucking piece of shit. And the fact that I'm saying I deserve 25% low key means I need 30%, but I have such low self esteem. I'm saying 25. So at the end of the day, we will see what is to come. I think for me, the most important thing that I need to work on is updating my resume because I have not done that in 2.5 years, and I'm probably going to need it at some point in the future. Probably.